This thing on? I don't know. I'm going to go with it. Hey, what's up? It's me, Animal. Only on Animal Expedition Files. See you there. Hey, welcome everybody. This is the Animal on Animal Expedition Files. Thank you so much for joining me on a Wednesday night from Florida here. It's a Wednesday, yeah. But how's everybody going? It's been a crazy day. So much going on today. I just want to say pray for a friend of mine. I just visited him from the hospital. A lot of crazy things going on. I won't go into too much details. But yeah, so much going on. But I hope everybody else is having a good day. If anybody could just join us on YouTube, please click the like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. And go on animalexpeditionfiles.com. You can find our merch stuff. It helps us out a lot to be able to do what we do. Get one of those cool shirts. And yeah. So I hope everybody's having a good day, a good night, a good week. It's Wednesday. And I'm very excited to have Austin on our show. Very excited about it. Movie actor, director, artist. We're going to be talking about all that, all about his cool stuff and adventures of what he's done. But first thing before we have him on the show, there's this one podcaster, because I don't know if you know that we just not talk about paranormal stuff, Bigfoot. We talk about like space, moon landing, conspiracy theories. You name it, we talk about it. Movies, Hollywood, amazing movie actors and what they're doing. But there's this girl that was talking about that, the whole moon landing is fake and aliens told her. So check this video out and see what you guys think.
The moon landing. What are your thoughts on that?
They did indeed set up a studio, like a Hollywood studio, to film this fake moon landing. And then we really did go to the moon, but when we went there, we were greeted by off-world visitors, and they said, you can't be here. Like, you're not allowed to be here. And so essentially NASA had to cut and edit all of those parts out. They just kept like little bits and pieces, and essentially they overlaid this fake moon landing with the studio and the real moon landing, and they combined them together.
Wow.
And this is why they haven't been back to the moon, because the dark side of the moon has been not taken over, but there's a lot of extraterrestrial bases there, and humans aren't allowed there.
Dang.
So.
What's your guys' thoughts about that? Because it's been very intriguing lately. So many people talking about this whole NASA conspiracy theory going on where it was all faked. It was Hollywood, you know. And just because there was a space race and all that stuff, we were trying to win and beat everybody. So was it real, fake? Please put it down in the comments there what you guys think about it. But we're going to have Austin Janowsky that join us. I'm very excited to talk with him. Amazing person. Did a lot of amazing movies with a lot of amazing people. Artist, also a comic book artist on a lot of cool stuff, and you don't want to miss out. But we're gonna show a video here to introduce him, and we're gonna have some fun talking. So check this video out.
Now pronounce you married. Let me kiss your bride.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I'm Williams. Lawyer.
Not my lawyer. But we are here on legal.
What?
What I need is direct contact information for the offices you rented at 50 Boulevard Street.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Do you want me to cite the legal obligations we have to hold these details? Or we can just review the scant paperwork you seem to misfile about where your shoddy office really is?
Which ones? Ultra thin. Pleasure pack? Ultra thin helps you with sensitivity. Okay. And you've got pleasure pack gives you three ways to help give pleasure. They help you.
Help with what?
They help you. Or you can try Magnum. They say that nothing's the same once you have a Magnum pointed at you.
That's all.
He just could not figure it out. I don't understand it.
He didn't know which protection that he really needed.
Really? My goodness.
Oh man, that's awesome, man. So how's it going, Austin? How you doing, brother?
I am blessed beyond measure. I am really good. Thankful to be on this show and talking with you, man. So thank you for having me on. Appreciate it.
Not a problem, brother. I know you do a lot of artwork. You just don't act and direct. You do like amazing artwork, like comic book art, like horror, just like amazing horror stuff. So before we get into all of that, tell us a little bit about you and how you got into this amazing journey of acting, just doing these amazing artworks that you do. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
High school was all theater, musicals, acting, voted most theatrical. But this was in the 80s, and I fell in love with comic books when I was 14. Collected, X-Men, everything. Just liked to draw. It was all great. So when I was graduating, I was a heavy metal looking kid. I'm not going to cut my hair to go act. And a lot of really great artists were working in the Syracuse, Utica, Albany, New York area. I fell in the comic books, and that's just kind of how it got started. And I got my first contract as an inker for a company called Allied Comics doing Cosmic Force. Wow. And that's kind of how things started. An inker, for those who don't know, because they're not used as much, inker back then finished the comic book page. Colors weren't really a thing back in the 80s because computers weren't really around then. They were added at the actual print shop. It was the way they did their negatives. Anyway, so that's what I wanted to do, work with really great artists and really great stories, and kind of fell into that. And I worked as an inker, tried to get up, was able to do a little bit of work for Marvel and Image and Dynamite and everything over the years.
Oh, wow.
And writing and doing my own stuff, a few of my own books. I have a zombie series, Zombies Were Human 2. I worked on Evil Dead 2 with Space Goat, which was really cool. Nightmare World, Dirk Manning's, which was really great for Source Point. So just that's kind of what I was going to do. And my backup plan, getting into it, was graphics.
Oh, wow.
Starting the computer. And I could draw, I knew the programs, I was very marketable. So I was an art director and creative director worked for Disney, Universal, Warner Brothers, and NASCAR, and then Verizon as an art director, and then a creative director. And I retired in about almost 10 years ago, and I was going to go to Savannah, teach adjunct. I was going to try to teach up there. And a buddy's like, hey, you want to be in a film? You want to be a ghoul? I'm like, absolutely. And a buddy's like, hey, I'm making a film. You want to be a bodyguard? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, wait, how? No idea how this was possibly being done. And like independent comic books, there's independent filmmaking.
Yeah.
Just blew my mind open. And it's something I've always wanted to do. I didn't think I could ever do. So it was one of those things where scratch the itch, answer the what if. And I just started auditioning, put in some work, got professional headshots and got some training and was able to get an agent and slowly build on that until kind of this is where we are 8-9 years later, not only as an actor, but working behind the scenes understanding every major aspect of how a film's made, because I like telling stories, I like writing stories, and I was directed a few of my own horror films and different films. The latest one is A Killer in the Dead. So,
Oh wow.
so I do nothing. Just I'm hanging out, playing video games. That's it.
and making really cool movies. But like getting into like an acting role like that, I know like in the industry it's probably very hard to get into something like that because like you have to work, especially for yourself, pretty much, and get a manager, like you said, and all that. How hard is it to get through all through that, like all together?
You have to make the decision that it's a job.
Mm.
It's something you want to put 100%. You absolutely love it because it's brutal. It will just absolutely destroy you.
Yeah.
Because this is one of the few industries where you are 100% opening yourself completely vulnerable each and every time you're auditioning.
Yeah.
Let alone getting on set. And you're getting so many no's that I decided I'm enjoying the entire aspect journey of the whole thing. The fact that I get asked to do one audition is something I always dreamed of. So to me, everything else is sort of gravy. And getting training, understanding what kind of actor that you want to be. A lot of people like to be a leading man. I'm a character actor. I am perfectly fine with that. I know my types. I'm a dad. I'm a doctor. I'm a detective. Ensemble. I can be kind of the goofy, grumpy, whatever, and kind of embrace that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And kind of go from there. And it's okay. You're learning as you're going. Each opportunity to audition, you're trying something new. You're basically, a lot of the actors are saying you're working. You get an audition, you go to work, and it is. You got to treat it like it's a job that you love and you enjoy. And there's lots and lots and lots of times they're going to say no. So think of it this way: you have an audition. What's the first thing you're trying to do? You're supposed to win over the casting directors. You can follow directions. You get the auditions done fairly way before the deadline, and it's done right. It looks good. It sounds good, right? Truthful, know the words, and you do your version. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
If you went over the casting directors, like, okay, cool. They're making my job easy. I want to try to book them. And once you get booked with the casting director, they want you to get booked again. You know what I mean? And then the more that you're able to book with these people, they lift you up from a co-star background to a guest star and kind of go on from there.
Wow. What was your most toughest role to actually audition for?
Goodness. It's not coming out yet. It was there's two. One was a play actually, and it's called Saul's Juke Joint.
Huh.
And I played a racist, rapist mayor of this small town.
Oh wow.
Now, I was brought in within 3 weeks before they started they started their first day that they were going to be doing their thing. Knew no one. Everyone was not my skin tone. And I have to go in and I'm reading for the director, and he left out the N-word. So I read, and he goes, so just to let you know, this part, you'll have to say the N-word. Are you okay with that? I'm like, are you okay with that? I can do, but he goes, yeah, it's for your part. I said, great. It was the most disgusting character I actually played, but it was the most challenging, the most rewarding, because when you're on stage, it's live, and you're, as the bad guy, you want them to boo you. You want them to hate you. You want all that. You want to feel it.
Yeah.
If you do your job, that's what you're going to get at the end. So that, to me, that was my most difficult.
Do you ever get any comments after that when you go through like something difficult like that?
You mean from like people who've seen it, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when I do like really kind of gruff or grumpy or that's, mean sort of roles,
Mhm.
Like, I never knew that you could do that. And I said, well, if you ask my kids, they kind of seen that face of me, but I try not to bring it out too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got a mean side. I can kind of do that. Like, yeah, but you're always so soft spoken and nice. I'm like, yeah, I know, because I have to be that way. You don't let them be.
Man, I bet you that's like really interesting when people come to you and ask you that.
A lot of people will come up and they'll say, what's your funnest role? And I always, for me, it was my first movie I actually wrote. It's called Love, Hate, The Amazing Life of a Comic Book Artist. Dug really deep. I played a disgruntled comic book person who made books for years, never did signings, never did conventions because of all the annoying fans and all that other crap. And in order for me to get my book published, the publisher made me do a store signing.
Yeah.
And I met all the cosplayers and the people who want the free stuff and the anime people and blah blah blah. So to me, that role was the most enjoyable. Not only was it cathartic a little bit because I could kind of voice some of the things in my head, but it was the most comfortable, and it helped me learn a lot of text. Even though I kind of wrote it, it's writing. Writing is one thing, but learning and saying the words to a movie is completely different. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I was gonna like ask you about like roles and stuff, like memorizing lines. Like, you ever go through a part where you're trying to memorize it and you're going through that role, and all of a sudden you like have a brain fart and forget it all? Like, how does that work? Like, when you're like in the middle of a take, because I'm sure that happens to a lot of actors, especially like roles like these.
So interesting you say that. So my first big co-star booking was Bad Monkey, the first clip that you saw. And my audition went great. They loved it. And when I got on set, this was like 2022. So there was COVID going on. My father-in-law had passed away a few days ahead of time. So my head was just all over the place. So I go and it's my turn and I'm supposed to say, may I now pronounce Mr. and Mrs. Nick Stripling? And I said, Strip Nickling. Now I have Zach Braff, Rob Delaney, Meredith Hagner right there.
Yeah.
Screw up once. All right, let's try again. So the second time I go to do it, I'm on Miami Heat, my makeup right in the eye, burning, and I say it with a little bit of a stumble. So now I screwed up twice. I'm like, it's the nightmare of the nightmare sort of thing. You know what I mean? And then I was able to get something the third time. They end up cutting that line anyway, and ended up working. But yeah, sometimes you can just go ahead and do it, and your brain just goes. And the thing is, they booked you, so you can like, sorry, my brain needed oxygen because it's just give me 1 second, please. And you just take a step back and you kind of go ahead and do it, and just keep on motoring on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just wasn't sure if it was competitive because I remember watching documentary stuff with like Back to the Future and stuff, and before they did Michael J. Fox, they had someone before him, and I guess a lot of stuff happened, and I guess things were wrong, and then they casted Michael J. Fox, and that's how he became in Back to the Future. And sometimes like they'll switch the actor, I guess, if things go, I guess, sideways, if you know what I'm talking about.
So they cast. I know they actually talking about Eric. I can't remember his name. He came into it as a very serious sort of focus on what the character was supposed to be, and the chemistry wasn't exactly there. But they tried to get him go in the direction they're looking for, but after a couple of weeks, it just wasn't working. And then they decided to pivot. There are times where you have an actor who just won't listen to directions and is not interested in trying to fix their mistakes, and they get booted off.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you might get on set and you get pulled out because the client changed their mind. There's hundreds of different reasons why you get booked, and there's just as many on why things don't kind of work out. It's so arbitrary.
Yeah.
How things, and it's so fragile. That's why, like with memorization, there's different techniques to remember. Big or small amounts of dialogue that you have, and it depends on who you're working with. They'll break it out into bites. I'm in a feature film called Last Seen Wearing. It's a thriller.
Mhm.
And my character had lots of procedural, big, you know what I mean? It's a Detective Wilmington with a Rossi Police Department for case 25-19532. I'm interviewing Chase Williams on the, just all this long dialogue. So we would go to a certain point. And I'm like, all right, can we just stop? And then I'll do it a couple times. And then we'll go, because in a 2-shot, there's someone else that you're saying that to, so they can cut back and forth.
Yeah.
Sometimes they want all of it all at once, and that's where learning a good memorization technique is helpful, and one that works best for you. And there's a lot of different ways to do it, just like a lot of different acting techniques and a lot of different whatever.
Yeah.
For anyone who's looking to get into acting or is acting, that's trying to do, learn as much as you can, and then you fit what works best for your type of learning and acting style and kind of go from there. That's what I do. I love Meisner. That's the first thing I really learned. It's a reactionary sort of technique. I gravitated towards that a lot. Improv I've done quite a bit, so it fit into that mold. And then there's other acting and acting coaches that will give you little bits and pieces that you can kind of go through too.
Yeah. Huh. That's very interesting. Yeah, because I always wondered, how do people memorize their stuff? Because there's a lot. Like, I've seen like some scripts that are like a freaking book, man. It was thick.
Yeah. Well, Last Seen Wearing, we had 24 pages that we had to shoot in a day. That's unheard of. It's an independent film.
Wow.
I had 18 pages I had to do in a day. So the first half of the day, I thought I was pretty sharp. The second half of the day, I'm like, my brain's a little tired.
Yeah.
And we had to switch things up a little bit. But they were very nice and they were very accommodating. You know, I accommodated them, so we worked together. However, bigger sets, that's not quite as easy to do. They've got a time frame to go with the budget. They have to get so much done in a certain amount of time, lunches a certain amount of time, and all that too. So if you have really big dialogues, that's what there's specific memorization techniques just for that, and you can find and kind of just go from there.
Yeah. That's awesome. Speaking about Bad Monkey, that's the one with Vince Vaughn, right?
Yes.
How was it working with Vince Vaughn? I know he's definitely a character, but like you were saying, when you were doing your lines and stuff, was he there at that moment when?
No, unfortunately, he wasn't. I met him very briefly, but I didn't get a chance to act with him. Zach Braff, if you're familiar with him, he was the lead on Scrubs, and they're actually doing a reboot of it. Yeah, super nice guy, great director, fantastic director. And Rob Delaney was very, very nice too. All of them were just super, super sweet, and it was a great experience. But yeah, Vince was Vince, man. Just he was doing his thing. So yeah.
That's awesome, man. It's really cool. One thing I did want to talk to you about is when you're doing these auditions and you have to like really get serious in these auditions, is it way different when you do an audition than when you're on film scene? Because I know you have to like be really serious to get that part.
Yeah.
When you get off, when you get taken for that part, is it like a different experience? Because I know when you're on set, you're more like around the surroundings of the film and all that stuff. But when you're like auditioning, you're like just a camera and a back screen.
Yeah. Auditioning is harder than being on set because you're visualizing, you're creating the space and the world that this character lives in. And then you have to say the words to make it, real and authentic. So it's truthful. Whereas when you're on set, you have everything surrounding, and it makes it a lot easier. They're like, okay, my character fits really good with this. The way I'm saying it fits really good in this. And they might switch kind of things up. Like Bad Monkey, my character was supposed to be kind of disgusted with what was going on. I was like, okay. They changed that completely. They went with the other way. That's why with auditioning, they always say try to do two different takes, too different to show range if you can. but yeah, being on set is a completely different animal. You have to be adaptable. So that's where you are creating a character, you're not creating emotion, right? So if you're creating an emotion character that's angry and you're like, oh no, he has to be happy, it's going to be hard for you to get the words the way you want to say them and project them to the other person, because you've put all this emotion one way. Whereas if you are creating the character and you're saying these certain words because that's how the character says it, regardless if he's mad or happy, that makes you adaptable, and that makes it easier for them to kind of pivot and do things.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that would. I know me. I'd be like too shy. I'd be like, nope, I'm gonna mess up. I know I'd forget my lines.
That's okay. You just say line and then give you the line, and you kind of go from there.
Yeah, like if like for the people out there that are just listening right now on Animal Expedition Files, like if they wanted to like do this or become an actor or something or writer or anything, where would they start? Like would they go to school, or like say if they couldn't go to school and they wanted to start out, like where would they go?
So if you want to do acting, okay, decide if you want to do it as a hobby, if you want to do it as a job. One. Then as a job, do you want to be an actor or do you want to be famous?
Mm.
You know what I mean? A lot of people want the limelight, but they're not interested in, like, I live to do the words. It brings me so much joy to do an actor, to create a character, regardless of how big it is. If it's important to the story, to me, that's the greatest thing. So for them, start getting some different acting books, start reading. You can watch a lot of tutorials to give you basic ideas, and then see what's going on in your area. Facebook has a lot of acting groups that meet up and talk. Independent films are always looking for free people that'll be background people or help behind the scenes. I know working behind the scenes helped me really well as being an actor, so I could understand when I'm saying things, what's my volume? How should I pivot when it comes to light? Hearing what they're saying, I can understand and position myself and make it. You want to be the solution to the problems and be as easy as possible on set. So working behind the scenes is a good way to have an understanding. And then start as a background actor too. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. A minute on set is worth more than like a month doing just auditions. Now, if for some reason not able to do that and they're having a hard time, get a couple lights. They're fairly inexpensive. Get a clear background. I wouldn't say green, but a different color. And then you can print off monologues, like 1 minute monologues, and then do like a 30-day challenge. You get a new monologue, you learn it, and then you tape it. You try to do it 2 different ways. You do it once, and you watch it and decide, how do I want to do something a little bit different, and go from there. This gives you experience on doing self-taping and learning stuff, learning lines. And then once you think you can have a little something and you can get some footage, hopefully you can go with an agent, or if you have a really good headshots, but you've worked on some sets, contact some local agencies, because they'll bring you in if they like your look and they'll have you read. If they like how you read, then they'll try like 90 days and see if they can book you. Writing, just start writing. If you're trying to do films, write a short film. Beginning, middle, end, make it 5 minutes, 5 pages. Make it super simple. And enjoy and write stuff that you like first, that you kind of know and enjoy. When I first started, it was the comic book one. I like horror because it terrified me as a kid. Like I was, nightmares, the whole nine. So I like writing something different about genres or something unique to each one. You know what I mean? Like with the zombies, my series, it tells who they were before they became zombies, like an origin story. Like everyone has an origin story, but zombies don't. If anybody does, they would. And I have a horror comedy called Killer Magic, which answers the basic question. You're watching a horror film, killer's outside, you turn around, he's inside, you're like, how the hell did he get right inside?
Yeah.
Killer Magic. So
man. No, that's the one thing, like you were talking about, you're a director too. How hard is that to get everything together, like getting your actors, the scripts, and everything? Do you have like a team that works with you, or do you usually do that by yourself?
So for writing, the script is pretty much me, and then I'll get people that I either worked with before or I've seen their work and I like what they do, and we kind of talk about what I'm looking to get done, and then from there we'll do casting calls if we need to, or a few friends that I'll pick depending on what we're doing, and a lot of pre-production, planning, the casting and the crew, location, time frame. Hauntingly beautiful. Hello. And then once you have it basically set up and you have all your, your DP, you got your first AD, you have your script supervisor, you have your sound person. Those are your four major ones. Just make a film and have fun doing it. And it's not going to be Scorsese because that happens once in a lifetime. But you'll feel so accomplished when it's finished, when you've done filming it. And then find someone who knows how to edit. You can try to edit. I try to edit. I'm horrible at it. Still try. I have friends now that are much better at editing. So like I'll do the rough and I'm like, here's my pile of whatever. Please fix it.
It's all video. I can't do.
Please help it.
Yeah.
Then they finish and then it's all good.
That's awesome. Heck yeah, man. One thing I do want to talk to you about is AI. Now
Yes.
I know Hollywood and AI lately, with the whole thing that was going on when they had those cuts going on. I don't know if you remember that. Everybody had but after that, a whole AI thing took over. Like, how does that work in the industry now with AI kind of in control of things in writers?
So, the thing with AI, and this I'm going to talk about film and also comic books across the board. All right, from a writer's standpoint, they're putting in ideas and they're writing the whole script. That's not what you should use it for. Everyone is really going, well, thank you for stopping by Hauntingly Beautiful Adventures. But I'll say this. AI, I think, has its uses as a tool. Like for comic books, for writing, I wouldn't necessarily use it as verbatim. If you have an idea and it fleshes out your idea, you can use it as a reference.
Yeah.
And kind of put your own spin in the way you're doing it. Same with doing artwork. You might want to do a certain way of doing artwork. AI can get specifically what you're looking for because you can't find the right references, but you don't copy that. You do your own version using your own art style to do it. Same with film.
Yeah.
The problem with film is AI was trying to take people's images and use AI to put them in films, putting over actors that are being in there and basically in perpetuity owning your image, which is no. In comic books right now, AI is using art that's already been published and there's a copyright issue with that.
Yeah.
So they're using art that's already done, hasn't gone to making its own style right now. So I would say with AI, use it as a reference if you think you need to as a writer. Just do it your own way. If you have an idea that you can't quite come up with, use it give you examples of an idea. Don't use it to write your stuff. Use it as a tool that it's meant for. Use it for reference at most.
Yeah. Because I wasn't sure if that was like taking over people's like jobs and stuff like that as a writer. I know that's like the hardest thing right now with fighting with AI, with being an actor or writer, especially filming. It's doing filming stuff now. If you watch like a lot of videos out there that are being made from AI with movies now, it's it's very interesting.
It's something we're not going to be able to get away from.
No,
it's something that people are going to have to get in front of and understand exactly how to slow it down or put it in a place where it can be by itself. Like a lot of different things, like filming, there's different stuff that's going to happen or not happen, and there'll be fads that people will like and not like, and I think people will get tired of it and go back to what they liked overall. But for right now, this is what we're dealing with.
Yeah, totally understandable. That's yeah, it's gonna be very interesting what happens in the future with movie making and movie magic with AI. But one thing I do want to ask is what is your most funnest time on set?
Right before they say action, because the energy it crackles a little bit. It's that anticipation of being able to like, okay, I can finally, all the preparation, all the time, all the working to this exact moment, doing the first take.
Yeah.
Because once the first take's over, you're like, okay, now we can go again. It's all right. But you get one good, got the first one done. You didn't, nightmare. So that, to me, that's the funnest time. And getting some feedback is always a joy. Being able to kind of see what you did and getting feedback from the director is a fun thing too.
That's awesome. Yeah, that seemed like it would be a lot of fun. Now you were saying you were a horror fan, right?
Yeah, I wasn't, and then like 18, I just, I'm like, I want to watch Halloween. I got to watch Halloween. I watched, which is a lot different than a 12-year-old. As an 18-year-old, was amazing, and then I just devoured everything about horror, just the whole 9 yards, and watching some really good films, watching some like, okay, but appreciating what they did, and just choosing what I like and don't like. And yeah, and not only just films, but like books, comic books, games. My daughter and I right now, we're playing all of the Resident Evil games again for PS.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we did 2, 3, 4 Village, and we're back to 4 again. And then we're waiting for the other ones to come out so we can do those.
Wow. Yeah, I haven't played those games in a very long time. Resident Evil. Those were like one of the best games around growing up. There was they would always freak me out when something jumped out at me.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%. Oh, it's the graphics that are used now for the storytelling is just beautiful.
It's crazy. And like I have a PS5. I barely use it because of time and stuff. But like when I do get to play with my kids, like the graphics from Nintendo to now to PlayStation 5, like it's like you're in a dream world. It's so weird how crazy over time the graphics get so amazing.
Yeah, well, when 64 came out, when Super Mario Brothers came out, that was like the end all be all. That was like magic. That was like, oh my god, this is
Mario Kart.
Yeah, Mario Kart, and then PS2 came out, and that was just like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever.
Yep.
And then 4 came out, I'm like, this is really, really good. But 5, I gotta say, 5 is actually a little bit better.
Oh my god, I can only imagine what 6 is gonna be like when they come out with a PS6.
I don't know.
It's gonna be like live people. It's gonna be.
Yeah, they're gonna like cameras. It's all live people in the background. You got the LED screen in the back. They're kind of filming things as they go. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, now everything's virtual now, so we got those virtual glasses and cameras and stuff like that. So that's just gonna get even better and better, and you're gonna pretty much be there in real life, but not be there, but be there, like. With
yeah, it's all over the place. I tried a couple times. I couldn't. I'm like, I need to be able to see my rug before the screen. I need that distance. I need that. Yeah.
Now, one thing I want to ask you, since you're on a paranormal show, I want to ask you: have you ever had an experience with anything paranormal, UFOs or cryptid or anything, like going through? Because I've talked to some actors where they've actually had some experiences on set where things would happen because they would be in these old theaters and all that stuff. Have you ever had any experiences like that?
Tragically, no. I wish. I mean, I think that would be just so cool. I have friends that's happened to them, and I'm like, oh, what's wrong with me, man? Come on, I want one. Give me something.
Now they're gonna go to follow you on set.
That's okay. I'll take one. A good friend of mine, Mark Muncie, he writes about Bigfoot and the not swamp, the Florida Florida.
Skunk Ape.
Yeah, Skunk Ape. He goes all up and down the East Coast, going to these places, photographing, talking to people, then writing books about them. It's fascinating to me.
Yeah, that's where I'm not too far from the Florida Everglades. It's a very interesting, different kind. It's like Jurassic Park here.
Oh, yeah.
We have all different kind of animals here in Florida.
Yeah, Florida. I'm right by Tampa. I'm right at the Air Force Base. So
so you're in Florida?
Yeah. I'm right here in Florida. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We don't have the super big snakes like you guys got down there, or the iguanas. Thank goodness.
Where they drop out of trees when it's too cold. You'll see the iguanas literally falling out of trees. Like,
yeah, I've seen that. I've never experienced that. Like a buddy of mine, he lives in Boynton Beach. He was walking, literally one fell right in front of him, scared his dog to death. I can go. No thanks. And it was a really big one too, like not a small one.
Now, since you're in Florida, do you ever like travel to other places doing like these movies, like California, New York, or any other places?
Yeah, Atlanta, Georgia is where a bunch is, but I've also Tennessee and North Carolina and Mississippi.
Oh wow!
So yeah, they're around the Southeast. Now that everything's over, I have a new agency that reps me for New York and Chicago, and I'm reading for up there. So hopefully soon we can book something for New York.
Oh, that'd be cool. Heck yeah, brother. Man, yeah, I'd love to see you do a lot more stuff. That'd be cool. Are you doing any more on Bad Monkey?
I don't know. They just announced John Malkovich is on season 2.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's pretty epic. So
awesome.
They're filming it in California and they're doing small stuff here in Florida. So I don't know how that exactly is going to work. But yeah, we'll see. I read for Vought Rising, which is shooting in Toronto. It's a spinoff of The Boys TV series.
Oh, I love that show.
And I got sent to producers. So fingers crossed that we book that. So that'll be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, The Boys. I know they're coming out with one more season, I think, and then they're done.
Yeah, season 5. Yeah.
And then there's V, the what's it? It's like the other part of The Boys, but it's like they're younger and they're all in school.
Yeah, the academy, right?
Yeah, the academy. Yeah, but I think it's weird because they did that the show, which was really awesome. I loved it.
Yeah.
But that one guy passed away from a motorcycle accident. That was he was one of the stars on it. He was also on Sabrina.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And I didn't hear anything after that if they were going to do a season 2 or anything like that. But I'm hoping they go on with that because that show was really good.
I liked it. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, hey man, we're gonna be signing off here real quick, real soon. But dude, I'm so happy you got to be on this show, man. We definitely got to talk. Now that I know that you're in Florida, I'm definitely gonna have to connect now and hang out and talk more about movies because I love horror. I love movies. I don't know if you know Joe Castro. Do you know Joe Castro?
I do. Yeah, we met at MegaCon.
Yeah, I just had him on my show. We talk back and forth, but I know he's doing a movie in Florida. I think in September or something like that.
Yeah.
But dude, yeah, we're definitely gonna have to hang out and talk and do an interview together because that'd be really cool to just hang out and get to pick your mind about movies and stuff like that. Because I love all thing movies, all thing horror, anything like that. It's my passion. So I'm thankful that you came on here, man. Tell me what you're all about.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. So yeah, the Killer and the Dad, for anyone interested, the trailer is on YouTube. I'll be at Scaricon in New York this next weekend. So if you're in the area, stop by and say hi because they'll be screening it. And yeah, man, thank you so much. I'm always into talking horror and stuff like that. So yeah, let's do it.
Definitely, brother. Tell everybody where they can find your YouTube channel, Facebook, and all like that, where they can find you and where they can see you.
Austin Janowsky, Facebook or Instagram, And you can find me, same thing, YouTube. If you want to just find out basic information, just Google my name. You'll find out all sorts of weird stuff about me. So
That's awesome. And you also did I think a Halloween one.
Yeah, it was funny. It's a trilogy fan series with Michael Myers. I also had Jason. I played Mr. Voorhees. I played Jason's dad in that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I get killed by my son. It's tragic.
You get killed by your son. I gotta watch it.
Please do.
That's awesome, brother. We'll talk a little bit more. We're gonna sign off here. We'll talk a little bit more once the show ends, and we'll talk for a couple of minutes and have a good time, man. But thank you everybody for watching Animal Expedition Files. Thank you, Austin.
Thanks, sir.
For joining us. I can't wait to do this again and be able to hang out with you, brother. But I hope everybody has a good week, and we'll see you Saturday. Have a good night, y'all.
Lights on. Dark Realm TV.